Hey, and welcome to CBR. In Marvel Comics, Peter Parker's father is Richard Parker, the brother of Uncle Ben, and in some iterations, a secret agent. While the MCU may go the same route with Peter Parker's backstory, the filmmakers may instead choose to have Peter's father be someone else. Today, on CBR, we're discussing possible fathers for Peter from the MCU.
I'm Peter, by the way.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're using your made-up names.
Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange has been the hero that has in some ways been the most influential on Peter Parker's current path. Doctor Strange first met Peter Parker in Avengers Infinity War when Spider-Man joined the fight against Thanos. Later, Doctor Strange decided to go against Wong's advice to try to help Peter erase everyone's memories of the reveal of his powers in a spell that went horribly wrong in Spider-Man No Way Home. At the end of the film, Strange erased Peter from everyone's memories to protect their universe from future incursions. Doctor Strange's willingness to go above and beyond to help Peter could be a sign that he is actually Peter's father. This revelation would make his choice to erase Peter from everyone's memories even more heartbreaking. Due to his knowledge of the time stream and the multiverse of possibilities, it's likely that he would be well aware of Peter's parentage and well aware that he would be erasing his memory of his son's existence. The possibility also begs the question of whether Doctor Strange would abandon his son. Since the answer to that question is likely no, Doctor Strange is actually one of the less likely options on this list. He still may serve as a mentor figure for Peter, even in the future if Peter ever needs his help again.
107th, Sergeant James Barnes, shipping out for England first thing tomorrow.
Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier. Bucky Barnes has many gaps in his memory due to Hydra's brainwashing during his time as the Winter Soldier. During one of his missions, he may have been undercover as Richard Parker. Bucky may have made sure that his son would be raised by Ben and May to protect him from Hydra and himself. Bucky would have to overcome both Hydra's memory wipes and Doctor Strange's spell in order to discover the truth about Peter. In searching for more redemption and truth about his past, Bucky could discover files from his time undercover as Richard Parker. This could trigger his memories of Peter to return and lead him to seek Peter out. If this theory were to play out, Bucky's attempts to reach out to Peter would be rocky at first, especially since Peter is reluctant to get close to anyone after the disasters of Spider-Man No Way Home. However, Bucky could realize that despite his actions as the Winter Soldier, he still made sure Peter was raised in a loving home with loving parents. Peter could have another mentor to rely on as they both try to navigate their identities as heroes and as ordinary people in their post-No Way Home world. Bucky could be a heartwarming option for Peter's father, but it would require a lot more build-up since he has not interacted with Peter as much as the other options on the list. Still, with Richard Parker's comic spy past, Bucky could be an option if the MCU wants to surprise the audience, and Bucky's mentorship could take Spider-Man's crime fighting in a completely new direction. Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Perhaps the possibility for Peter's father that many MCU fans would most like to see is Tony Stark. Throughout the Infinity Saga, Tony acted as a mentor to Peter, and their relationship is part of the MCU's emotional core. First, Tony seeks Peter out in Captain America: Civil War to help with the conflict against Captain America and possibly join the Avengers. Then, in Spider-Man: Homecoming, Tony continues his mentor role, first warning Peter away from crime fighting and then offering Peter a place in the Avengers once Peter proves himself. Finally, in Avengers Infinity War, the moment when Peter fades from existence due to Thanos' snap is one of the most heart-wrenching scenes as Tony watches in horror as Peter disappears. Tony Stark's playboy past lends credence to the possibility that he could be Peter's father. In this case, Tony would likely be fully unaware of Peter's existence. Seeing Peter rise as a viral sensation could evoke some sort of twinge of subconscious recognition, even if Tony was unaware of the truth. The truth could be uncovered if Pepper Potts goes looking for information on Tony's past. One commonly used soap opera trope could be that Tony and Pepper's daughter, Morgan, could be sick and need a transplant of some sort, with a biological relative being the best option. Pepper could then trace the paper trail and discover Peter Parker, igniting her own memories of him as well, and he could develop a bond with Pepper and Morgan. While this option could be heartwarming, Tony Stark being revealed to be Peter's father would have had far more emotional weight if the revelation had occurred while Tony was alive, likely before the snap. Due to Tony's sacrifice, it's unlikely that he will truly serve as Peter's father in the MCU, though he will always remain one of Peter's best mentors on his superhero journey.
I killed Spider-Man. Why did I just see two more?
Fisk, aka Kingpin. Throughout Marvel Comics, Fisk serves as one of Spider-Man's main adversaries. As a New York City crime lord, he often threatens the neighborhood of the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. In the MCU, Kingpin has served as a villain more often for other heroes like Daredevil and Echo, but the MCU could still connect Peter to him in an unexpected way. Here's how this possibility could play out in the MCU. If Kingpin ever had a son, the mother of the child could have sought to give the child up for adoption, knowing the danger he would be in if Kingpin ever learned that he existed. Custody would have been bestowed upon Ben and May Parker. With Spider-Man 4, Peter Parker could start facing more street-level villains, and Kingpin may rise as one of his biggest foes. The storyline of Peter possibly being Kingpin's son could begin in Daredevil Born Again, where Matt Murdock may discover that Kingpin does have a son somewhere out there. The mystery would continue throughout the multiverse saga. Meanwhile, Peter would face off against Kingpin in at least one movie, building up their rivalry. The truth could either be revealed by Daredevil's investigations, or, since this is the multiverse saga, a version of Peter who was raised as Kingpin's heir, Peter Fisk, could cross over to the main MCU timeline, leading Peter or Kingpin to discover the truth. Well, this type of storyline has been done before, most famously in Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. If the reveal comes after Peter and William have been fighting each other for a time, it would make the relationship between Peter and William Fisk far more nuanced, as both of them grapple with the truth of being father and son. I mean, it's pretty wild. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Do you think the MCU will stick with Richard Parker as Peter's father? Or do you think that they may choose one of these other options? Let us know in the comments, remember to subscribe, and thanks for watching CBR.